Hello friends, this is the Sun Woman. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel for your new moon in Capricorn reading for the period covering January 17th through to February 15th. This reading is for my Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising position. Thank you so much for liking and sharing my videos and for subscribing to the channel. If you have not already, please go ahead and do so. Also, you can click on the Book Now button in the banner to order your 6-month reading. Just to let you know that my readings are not like anyone else's. I do provide a 45 to 60 minute live tarot reading for you in response to your questions, your concerns. On top of that, I will do a natal chart for you and map out the transits, the current transits that are affecting you for a 6-month period, so that you know what the best times and dates are to make certain moves, make certain decisions, or whether it's that weather where you should sit back and kind of wait for things to manifest. Okay, also the third component to that is that I will provide you with 6 affirmations, one for each month. I will pull them with the assistance of spirit to provide you with the affirmations that you will need to focus and ground you each of the upcoming months. So that's a full picture for you. Okay, so if you're interested in that, please go ahead and click on the Book Now button in the reading, or you can order your reading through my website. Connect with me on Facebook as well. All right, so all that having been said, I'm going to go ahead with the reading now. All right, my Cancers, so interesting energy here, and what I want to say is that there are a few heavy messages here, but it's interesting to me that despite that, the affirmation card that you received was one that is very, very hopeful and very positive and very uplifting, and that card is hope is the conduit for miracles. Okay, so why I feel this is coming up is because you're dealing with some things right now that are not necessarily very easy. You have the Tower showing up, you have the Devil showing up, which is the oppression card. You are showing up as the Queen of Cups reversed, so you are coming up here directly at the base of the deck in this reading. And so you have some energy here. The 10 of Wands is here, 6 of Wands reverse. So let's just take a look at what all this is talking about. I feel like as we come into this new moon cycle, you are really working your butt off. Okay, you are making things happen. You're working hard. You're focused. You have found a way, or you are finding a way to use those God-given talents, gifts, and skills that you have to make moves and make things happen. I think that you have coming into this cycle with a feeling of empowerment, being able to direct your own life, having a positive effect on other people's lives, on the people around you who depend on you, who count on you. So the Magician has the power of manifestation. So what he or she imagines, what he or she thinks, they can make it happen. And you have been in a cycle of making things happen, I feel. Okay, which is very important because the current energy that is on you is the Tower energy. And so, the Tower is one of the least favorite cards that come up in a reading, because people are usually afraid of the unknown, and the Tower usually brings about some kind of situation that maybe appears out of nowhere and throws things upside down. Okay, now understand that whatever the Tower shakes up or tears down is something that really needed to be shaken up or torn down. Okay, so either it's shaken up because there's stuff under the surface that you were not aware of that needed to be brought to light, and so the Tower comes in and shakes things up, brings, and when the dust settles, you know exactly where you stand. or the Tower tears things down. It brings about a situation where, you know, the rug is pulled out from underneath your feet, and something that perhaps you spent a lot of time and energy and years even building is shaken. Okay, and again, when the dust settles, you know exactly where you stand, and you have the ability now to rebuild. And it's important to me that the Magician came up before the Tower, because this is kind of the universe saying, okay, regardless of what's coming down the wire, know that you have the ability, you have the final say. You are the one that decides which way things go. You are the one that's going to have the control. Even in an uncontrollable situation, or a situation where things are outside of your control, once that passes, and this too shall pass, you will come out with the very same focus, the same skills, the same abilities of manifestation as you had before the Tower moment arrived. Okay, so important to focus on that. Now, the Magician is a very hopeful person, because not only are they able to make things happen, but they know that if they tap into the universe and they align themselves with the universe, there's always hope. There's always hope to manifest a miracle. Okay, so important there. So whatever the situation is that throws things upside down, I do feel that it, you know, more than anything, I feel that it is an emotional situation. It could be a relationship. It could be a emotional connection, could be a family situation. You have Wands here, which are actually the dominant suit. You have the Page of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Ten of Wands, and also the Six of Wands. So that's interesting to me. My first impression was that this is emotional, and I still do feel that way, because whatever the situation is, you are a water sign, and it is going to hit you emotionally first. You know, it bypasses the intellect, bypasses the rational mind, and you're going to feel it. You're going to feel it deeply. You're going to feel it powerfully. And it is going to throw you off course a little bit. It is going to throw you off balance emotionally. But I keep asking you to refer back to that Magician, knowing that you still, regardless of if you are, you know, stressed out, or, you know, thrown off balance, or you're dealing with a turbulent situation emotionally, you still are that Magician. Okay. So with these Wands cards, yes, this could have to do with your work or your career situation, but I feel that it is not necessarily as much work or career as just your lifestyle in general. Okay, so what may happen is that, say there's an emotional, something happens with a relationship, for instance, or something happens in your family situation, it's going to affect all the other aspects of your life. And what the main focus of these messages are, you know, with this reading, is that the structure of your life, or what's going on a daily basis, what you are focusing on, is going to, you know, it may need to change. You may need to make adjustments. Your life may be very different in a few weeks than it was a few weeks ago, because of the Tower. Now, the Page of Wands is coming up in the near future, and the Page usually talks about messages, communications coming in, information coming in. And so it's as though the Tower hits, and so something, you know, is brought to light, and then slowly, as this cycle, as the week or so, week to 10 days, 2 weeks, next 2 weeks goes on, I feel like more information is going to be coming through to you. You may have a conversation with someone. There may be messages going back and forth that are going to perhaps bring out more information that you weren't aware of, and that may not, you know, may not make you happy. Let's just put it like that, okay? I'm not going to pull any punches here with you, because knowledge is power, and the more information you have, the more empowered you will be in order to handle whatever comes through, okay? The information that comes through could be from a fire sign, so that could be Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. It could be from someone much younger than you. It could be from a child, your child, or someone who's very youthful, or, you know, just a very immature energy. And with the page reversed, it's as though I feel like words are being used as weapons. That's, you know, that's the picture that flashed in front of me. So the messages may come through from someone who really is either trying to be hurtful or vindictive, or has some kind of bone to pick with you, and they want to shake you up, okay? They want to maybe manipulate you emotionally in some way. What I say to you is represented by the Nine of Wands, and that Nine of Wands is reversed. The Nine of Wands says that this may be a situation that you need to walk away from. It may be a situation that you feel as though you no longer have the energy to deal with, or to handle, or to proceed with. That perhaps you have invested so much energy, you've been trying to, you know, be vigilant, you've been trying to fight off, you know, the unknown. You have been on, you know, on watch for invaders, or, you know, or for, you've been very protective of your situation. And it may be that you have invested so much in it that there's nothing else you can do at this point. You may have to let the tower sweep away, blow in and sweep away whatever is not serving your higher good any longer, okay? Some of you may decide to change jobs. Some of you may decide to quit your job. I mean, I just got that with the Nine of Wands reverse. Some of you may be giving notice, and you know, rather than and just walking away from a situation, you know, even before you have something else set up, because you're just done, okay? The Nine of Wands reversed is touching on the oppression card, which is the Devil, and the Devil represents someone external to you. So this person could be a Capricorn person, could have Capricorn in their chart, but whoever this is, it's someone I feel that you have been very closely connected to, tied to, chained to even. And perhaps the Tower has come through to liberate you. It's come through to free you. It may be that way before any of the Tower energy blew in, you were already feeling this way. You know, you were going about your business, manifesting, making things happen, but this other person was being an emotional drain, or a psychic vampire, an emotional vampire. Or even, you know, to an even deeper extent, draining you, trying to dominate you, trying to control you even, okay? And it could have been a very toxic relationship. This person may have issues with addiction of some kind, or, you know, it could be alcohol, drugs, sex, shopping, you know, food, whatever, something that there is an unhealthy addiction to. And so you were kind of doing your magician thing, working around this energy, this person, trying to make the best of the situation, but then the universe comes in and says, okay, you've had enough. It's time for you to be freed. It's time for you to be liberated from this, okay? And then information starts coming through, and you say, okay, I've had it, all right? I'm not trying to hold on any longer. The obstacle card is the Ten of Wands, very similar energy to the Nine of Wands. where you get to the breaking point. You've been carrying a lot of weight, a lot of responsibility. You know, the obstacle here, interesting enough for me, with the Ten of Wands also often talks about working, you know, over, doing a lot of work, but maybe too much, maybe focused too much on your work or your career at the deficit of your emotional life. So, you know, maybe you were not aware of the things that were going on with this other person, or going on behind the scenes, because you were so focused on climbing up the corporate ladder and working and, you know, doing everything that you were doing. So, you know, that was an obstacle to you being able to really see clearly what was going on in your situation. I feel that, you know, it's the end of a cycle, though, because the 10 is the end. So this could be that wake-up call that says, okay, it's time for you to focus on you, Cancer. It's time for you to focus on your needs, and, you know, maybe not being the one who's been carrying all the weight of responsibility all this time. Okay, and it's like that, you know, shake you out of that coma, out of that, from under that spell that you may have been under. In the outcome here, we have the Six of Wands reversed. Six of Wands reversed is also a card about, you know, it's a card about information, about news coming through. But for me, the Six of Wands really talks about how we are seen in the public eye, you know, our social network, our friends, our associates. You know, the Six of Wands is right side up. It's, you know, it's your Facebook audience or friends. So the Six of Wands has a lot to do with your reputation, your social reputation. And I do feel that whatever happens during this new moon cycle, where it may disrupt your life, it may disrupt a relationship, it may disrupt your work situation, you know, it may be that you have to kind of do damage control where your social circle is concerned. You know, why, you know, you're out, for instance, and you're not with your partner, and people want to know where he or she is, and it's, well, this is what's going on, you know, and everyone is shocked. Or, you know, someone asks you about that, you know, the job of the company you're working for, and you're like, well, I'm no longer there, I left, you know, I walked away, and they're shocked and surprised. So I think there's going to be a lot of focus for you on how people see you and how people react to these big new developments in your life. But what I would say to you is that it really doesn't matter. Okay, what matters is your health, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. What matters is you being empowered by the truth and being able to act accordingly from that base of truth. Okay, because once you know where you stand in your life, then you know what's possible. Okay, then you know what is real and what isn't. And you can now go about creating that life, creating that truth that is all yours. If you are uncertain as to where you stand, if someone's trying to be deceitful or hide things from you, or you don't know what's going on, what the real story is, you can't truly manifest in a healthy way, because your castle is built on sand. And that's what the tower does. It knocks down anything that's built on sand, so that now you can come in after the dust clears and start to rebuild on something that you know is solid, because you have created it yourself. Okay, my Cancers, you can sometimes be caught up in the past and on wishing and hoping that things could remain the same, and this may be one of those moments where you have not wanted to really look at how something has changed, whether it's a relationship or your family or your career. You know, we're staying in those reminiscent moments and living off of nostalgia. But the Tower is saying that you have to live in the now, right now, in today. And you have to know what the truth is for you today in order to now be hopeful and be that, you know, conduit for miracles. So whatever happens this month, Cancer, I say to you, don't let it change who you are. Don't let it create insecurity or, you know, damage your self-esteem or, you know, damage who you are, because you have earned your position. You have done the work. You are that person who has the ability to make things happen. And regardless of what happens after this Tower energy is over, you will be able to rebuild. You'll be able to rebuild, you know, if it's a relationship that is gone, you'll be able to rebuild with someone who is worthy of you. If it is a work situation, you will be able to find now and be freed from something that wasn't worthy of you, and find a position or a career or, you know, that avenue that's going to take you where you really need to go. And if you're worried about what your family, friends, work associates feel, everybody has to live their own life. They can't walk in your shoes, just like you can't walk in theirs. Those people who love you will love you no matter what happens. Those people who are supportive of you will be that way no matter what goes on, because your circumstances do not change who you are at the core. And they see you as that magician, okay? They see you as that powerful manifester who is able to, with hope, be a conduit for miracles and a creator of miracles. All right, my Cancers, so this has been your reading. I also want to point out to you that we have a new moon, we have a full moon eclipse taking place on January 31st. So it's at the end of the month, and eclipses definitely bring about major changes. Sometimes things that would take months to happen will happen in a matter of weeks. So the first 10 days before the eclipse and the 3 days after, so that 13-day cycle, there could be a lot going on, a lot of unstable energy. You know, don't make any major decisions. Kind of sit back under the radar to wait and see what happens. And again, it's one of those, I keep using this term, but when the dust settles, then you will know where you need to be and what your next moves are, and you will be able to carry through with those things as that magician energy. All right, thank you so much, Cancer. Contact me for your 6-month reading and connect with me on Facebook or Instant Go. Thank you so much. I wish you all good things, love, peace, and joy, and I bid you namaste.